Just moving your house within your own city, we all of us know how stressful the process is. So anyone could imagine the situation of a family or a person who's moving to a different country and a different continent altogether, with different traditions, different cultures, different customs, different language, different food, different rules and regulations, different policies, different education system, different medical system, different work culture. Anything is going to be different from what you have been used for since your childhood. Luckily, I got an opportunity to move to London within UK, where at least I did not have the problem of language and food, but still me and my family had a lot of challenges during the initial days with respect to the country's rules, policies, medical system, education system, and we are still learning and uncovering a lot of things on a day-to-day basis. So I thought, let me do a compilation of all useful information that would be needed for a person or for a family who is moving into the UK for the first time. I wouldn't call that this video is going to be a 100% perfect guide, but at least it's going to help you plan your transition much better, and most importantly, it's going to help you prep your mind as to what the life in UK is all about, so that it is at least going to ease out your transition process. So now let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is on the food, because I think this is the primary concern for any Indian traveling into the Western countries. In case if you're traveling to London, this isn't a concern at all, because there are hundreds of Indian restaurants, biryani shops, chat shops, street food, Murugan Idli Kadai, Saravana Bhavan, Ananda Bhavan, and Sangeeta. And any Indian spices or Indian vegetables you name for that matter, you will definitely get that in London. And even in the other cities of England like Swindon, Peterborough, Milton Keynes, Bristol, and even in Scotland, I had been to Edinburgh. So in all of these places, I know for sure you'll definitely get Indian spices and vegetables. And I think in most of the important cities in England, you will definitely get them, unless you end up in a countryside. But I don't think anybody who's traveling on a deputation would end up in a countryside. So if you are a foodie, I think this information will definitely give you some peace. So that's Chennai Biryani, which is famous for biryani in a place called Hounslow, which is in the western part of London. You will get very, very delicious, yummy biryani, and also you will get kottu parota in this shop. This sound feels so much desi, and it's definitely an emotion for those who love this dish. It's personally my favorite shop. These are the other two famous biryani shops in Hounslow. Most of the shops that I'm going to be showing in this video are from Hounslow. You can have a look at the menu, and you can also have a look at the yummy dishes here. Most of the dishes would almost be the same in both the shops, and prices would almost be the same in both these shops. I will leave the links of all these shops in the description box down below. If you guys have landed in London and if you're really craving for Indian food, then you should definitely give these shops a try. You will never feel disappointed, trust me guys. Next, I just thought I'll show you a chat shop, which is very close to the biryani shop that I just showed. Look at the variety of dishes that we have here. They are definitely tempting, and please don't miss the opportunity to taste them once you are in Hounslow. Not only in Hounslow, in other areas like Southall, Wembley, and also in the eastern part of London, wherein we have East Ham, Ilford. In all these areas, you will definitely get all these varieties of Indian dishes and a lot of Indian restaurants, and that is exactly the reason why I told you that in London you will definitely not miss Indian food. Just look at the jalebis, pakoras, samosas. What more really do we need, guys? Yeah. Now these are the two important shops where you will get anything and everything of the Indian grocery. So the quality foods is available in 4 places, in Hounslow, Hayes, Ilford, and in Southall. So they are available online as well, as you're seeing here. So I hope this piece of information would have given you guys a lot of confidence and hope about your travel to London. So let's talk about education and the schools as a second topic in our discussion. So it's not like in India wherein you apply for the private schools of your choice and then you get the admission for your child there. First of all, the private schools are very expensive and very limited in the UK. So even the locals out here would prefer only for the government schools. And trust me guys, the government schools out here are really good. But even to get seats in the government schools, there is a set of process that everyone needs to follow. I will try not to overload you guys with a lot of information, but I will definitely touch base on the important points. So any place you decide to live in the UK will be a part of the council, and all the schools and other public services in that area will be owned and managed by this council. And all these councils will have their own websites, and once you move into your home, the first thing that you guys will do is please do register yourself within your council website, because that is very important for any council activity that you're going to be performing. So log into the council website and then search for in-year school admission. They call it as in-year because you are looking out for an admission in between the academic year, and that's the reason it's called in-year school admission. And then you might be expected to fill in the basic details about the child. And here comes the most important part. Out of all the schools owned by the council, you will be allowed to choose 4 schools as your preferences, and most of the parents here will give this preference based on 2 important parameters. The first one is the Ofsted rating. Ofsted is again another government organization which inspects schools and other institutions for the children. So they rate the schools and the institutions between 1 and 4, 1 being the highest and 4 being the lowest. 1 stands for outstanding, 2 stands for good, 3 stands for requires improvement, and 4 stands for inadequate. If you find a school with outstanding as the Ofsted rating, then definitely that should be your first preference, and most of the schools here would be with the outstanding and good as the Ofsted rating. And the second most important parameter based on which you will provide your preferences is the proximity of the school, because here it is the responsibility of the parents to pick up their child from the school and to drop their child to the school. So right after you move into the city, you're definitely not going to own the vehicle, so it's going to be by walk. So please keep that in mind while choosing the school. So now third, let's talk about the medical system. The medical system is almost the same as the education system out here. You just can't enter into any hospital as per your choice. First of all, the private hospitals are really expensive and they are very limited. So it's all about the government hospitals here. So the government hospitals are called the National Health Service, NHS, which you'll be hearing quite frequently once you're here. So these NHS are again part of your council, and if you'll have to become a member of your NHS, you will have to be following a set of steps which I will be detailing further. Once you choose the NHS that you want to become a member of, then you got to register online for yourself and for your family, else you cannot avail any of the services of NHS. Now you can register either as a permanent member or as a temporary member. I guess the temporary membership is for 3 months. In case you're bringing your family or your parents for few months here, then this is what you really need to do. Now there are certain important points that you need to remember while booking an appointment. So you need to call them 8 a.m. on the dot to get an appointment the same day. In most cases, you will get an appointment only with a general practitioner. If you need to consult a specialist, book an appointment well in advance, and you might be lucky if you get an appointment the same month. And though the consultation and the test are free for all, medicines aren't unless you are under 16 or above 60, or if you fall under any exception category. And in case of any life-threatening cases or emergencies, you need to dial in 999 for assistance. And there definitely will be one such fully fledged multi-speciality hospital in each council which will handle critical ailments and emergency cases. So these are just the basic information. There are a lot of other information which you will get to know once you're here. One last information which I wanted to share is that you may also make use of the chemists in the pharmacies who will help you with a prescription for any kind of general illness. That's it for today and for part 1. More information to follow in part 2. Bye-bye.